What is going on, everybody? It is in here with Miller Garage, and today I want to share something with you guys that I'm really excited about. It's something that I've been kind of working on for a little bit now, and really starting to get the foundation and start actually shooting for, and start really developing. And it's actually two things that I want to share with you. One is going to be a little bit further on down the road, probably middle of next year. The other thing I'm going to be starting this month, and these are all ways that I want to help you guys with your Airstream renovations. Obviously, I have projects that I'm doing, and I'm really grateful for my clients, but at the same time, I have this YouTube channel, and I'm putting information out there and trying to help all of you guys with your renovations, because obviously there's kind of two different people out there. There's the people that want to do it themselves. They want to be hands-on and do all the work, and then there's the people that want someone like me to do the work. And I really want to be able to help both groups of people. So obviously that's what this YouTube channel is for. Granted, it helps with marketing and stuff, but really being able to put that information out there. And I get a ton of questions, whether it's on the YouTube channel, email, social media, all of those things. You guys have lots of questions about your projects, and I try as hard as I can to help you guys out, answer questions, and respond to you. But sometimes it's just not, obviously feasible and possible for me to respond to everybody, help everybody out. And so I am going to be creating something that I'm going to be calling Airstream U. And basically it's going to be an online course where it's going to be very in-depth videos and courses on the process of Airstream renovations. So it's going to be everything from a full in-depth guide on polishing to subfloor replacement to literally every step of an Airstream renovation. And it's going to be not just like one trailer, but I'm going to be doing it with multiple projects that I have. So there's going to be a large collection over time of a lot of very in-depth build videos, like where I'm describing virtually every step and all of that. So obviously that's going to take some time, and my plan is to launch that in the middle of 2021. That's kind of what I'm targeting for. Now that obviously may change a little bit, just based off of life and etc. So that is right now the goal. Now, so in the meantime, something that I'm going to be starting this month is I've created a Patreon page where you can essentially sign up at different levels and get different insider or essentially like benefits, as they put it in there, for that. So I see this as a way that I can help people where it's, obviously my time is valuable, and so I want to be able to help you guys in a way that is cost effective for you, and it works out for me, because I was offering like consulting, but that was about $75 an hour, and so it's kind of, it gets a little bit expensive. So I was like, okay, how can I answer people's questions, interact with people, help them out without, with it making sense for everyone. And so what I've basically decided is that I'm going to have monthly Zoom calls, and I'll have a full breakdown of how it's all going to be structured and all that. But it's basically going to be 2 calls a month, and I'm going to have it as a group call, and I'm going to keep the groups at about 20 to 25 people, and I'll kind of evaluate as we get into it, and obviously based on the response of this and how many people sign up and all of that. But the plan is to have it be, relatively small groups, and you will essentially submit questions you have via email ahead of time. I will pick questions, come up with answers, because obviously there's going to be questions that are redundant as this goes on. And so if somebody submits a question that we've already answered, then I'll direct you essentially to a backlog archive of the videos. And so I want to pick relevant questions and be sure that I'm prepared ahead of time to answer your questions, and then we'll discuss it in the Zoom call. And again, like, even if you want to just sit in on it and hear what's going on, even if you don't have a specific question, obviously you can be learning stuff for things you're going to be doing further down the road. So it's going to be, I see, as a real benefit for people who are doing Airstream renovations. And the other thing is it's in a way kind of creating a community. So with that, there's also going to be a private Facebook group, and that's a way that, again, that I can kind of answer questions a little bit better. I'll be more interactive on that specifically, because it'll be just the one area that I have to, focus on instead of trying to bounce between like all these different platforms and all of that. And as well, you guys can interact and help each other out, because obviously some people have figured out stuff and they can be helpful. So I'm creating that private Facebook group where we can all kind of interact. The other thing is I'm going to have essentially like resource lists. So that's going to be a lot of the parts that I use, tools that I love, all of that will be compiled into resource lists so that you guys can easily see like, okay, like, so often we spend so much time researching parts and finding stuff and sourcing things, and so to kind of have everything compiled in one place, and obviously it's not everything, because some stuff it's just, again, it's hard to find and you have to search. But if I can get a lot of things compiled in one place, that's going to be, again, a real benefit for you. So there's going to be basically 3 levels on the Patreon. The first one is going to be just kind of like a base level YouTube supporter. So that's $5 a month. And so if you just love the channel and want to help continue to bring content, then you can contribute $5 a month there. That will get you access to the resource lists. So, I want to obviously add benefit for, you supporting us and everything. So you will get access to those resource lists, and so that's the first level. The second level is the Miller Garage supporter, and that is going to be the one with the Zoom calls. So that will include the 2 monthly Zoom calls for the groups, as well as the private Facebook group and the resource list. So that one is $25 a month, and I see that as a lot of value to get 2 hours of kind of consulting time for that. I mean, it's group, but yeah, you'll get your questions answered. I can, pretty much guarantee you that. And then also being a part of the Facebook group and the resource lists. And then the third level is going to be the Airstream U supporter, and that is $50 a month. And that is going to basically be to help support in me, getting the Airstream U course going, and people that are, committed to that and they want to be able to have access to that to be supporting it. So with that, you get all of the other things, but you get early access to courses. So I'm going to begin shooting them, and I already have begun, but I'm going to be really getting stuff going, and probably January, February, I'll have some of the courses ready. And so those that are in the Airstream U supporter tier, they will have access to those courses early. And additionally, you will get a discount on Airstream U once it launches. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer, obviously, that the timeline that I have set out is subject to change, and so just kind of understand that. But my goal is to have some of the early courses in January, February starting, and then the full course online in middle of 2021. And I say full as in to a point where I can present it, market it, that I feel like it has lots of content, but it is something that will be continually having content added to it. I'm going to be always putting more stuff up there as I get different projects, all of that. So that's going to be where really in-depth how-to stuff is going to be, is in Airstream U. So, I think that's going to be a really great resource for everyone. And so then I guess the question is, then what's going to happen with a YouTube channel? Am I still going to be doing how-to stuff? Am I still going to be, doing it that much? And the answer is absolutely yes. I think to a degree, my videos are going to be, I'm going to slightly transition from how-to into more kind of like project and storytelling based content. I will still be obviously like showing stuff, and I'll have probably more like tips, like kind of smaller scale down tips and how-to segments that kind of like I did the Rivet one recently and stuff like that, where I'm sharing specific details. We'll talk about like sealing Airstreams, maintenance, those kind of things in a way, and it won't be quite as in-depth how-to stuff on the YouTube. Again, there still will be. So obviously YouTube is not going anywhere. We still have lots of good stuff coming your way, but I wanted to essentially find a great way that I can help everybody out more and in a bigger capacity, and I really think that this is going to be a fantastic way to do it. So the Patreon is live. The resource lists will be up next week. I'm still working on all that. So that is linked below. So you can go sign up for that. I would really appreciate it. That's a huge help and support for us. And I want to, again, obviously be giving more value than, I'm receiving always when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's one of my big goals, is to, be able to resource all of you, as well as obviously work on amazing clients' projects. So really appreciate that. All right, well, thank you all so much for your support. The channel is just continuing to grow, and I really appreciate all the kind comments and the people that are just getting inspired by this, and I'm able to help you guys tackle your projects. So really appreciate it, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and again, sign up for the Patreon, and we will see you next time.